Hey, yeah, hey. Oh, I gotta clear my throat. This is Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone. Come on in, come on in. I've had a hectic 2 days. My neck has been stiff for 2 damn days. All right, but I am here. All right, and I have a little bit more mobility. Good morning, Hillbilly. I have a little bit more mobility than yesterday. Yesterday and the night before was hell. I almost went to the ER for a muscle relaxer shot in my ass, but I survived through the night. So here I am. I'm gonna start us out with some positive vibes of the day and then go from there. Cause I say what?
Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
That's good, Hillbilly. Wake up. It's cloudy and dark here.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, yo. But you always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison the ride. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap
All the bad for the good in my
head when I'm lost.
Hey, Valerie.
Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken. I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. I'll flow, you grow, you show yourself the foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hey. Good morning. Good morning. Valerie, you see, I sent you a picture early this morning. I pulled out your back patches, the lidocaine patch, the cream. I creamed myself up. I put the patch on. Oh my goodness, Valerie. I know that needle must have hurt. As we get older, we fall apart, baby. Let me tell you something. My neck was so stiff, like I couldn't do anything. It's still stiff, but I could turn my head this far now. Before I couldn't even turn it this far. It hurts all the way from here, all the way down, and it radiates to my back. I could turn my head this way. This is as far as I could turn it. This is better than yesterday and the day before. Now, when I go up and down, I try to get my chin to my chest. Let me see if I still can't get my chin to my chest because it hurt right here. Oh, it's almost there. Almost. And then when I go back, this is as far as I go. You said, well, quit doing that. I have the little massager Which one do you have, Val? Because, wait a minute. I have this one, right? So I turn this on. Oh, it hurt right here. Right there. This is what I've been using. Right? This shit hurt. Whew. That shit hurt. That's the same one you got. This one has different connections. You could put the cold thing on here, so you could use cold, or they have the heat thing you could put on here for heat. But this is just a massager one. You know, I needed it, so I'm grateful that that's here. Cause baby. Okay, yeah, I've been using it off and on. You know, it hurts just to use it, but I think it's helping because between the cream and the patches, the Motrin 800 and the Flexeril. Did I say I took all that? Listen, I have been on Motrin 800, Flexeril, taking 2 pills, which is 10 milligrams. Because I have the 5 milligram prescription, but you could take up to 10 milligrams. And the patches and the cream and this massager. This has been my life for 2 days. Okay. This is crazy. I don't know if it's because the air conditioner is running constantly on top of the fact that I have my fans running constantly, or if it's because I sleep on a million different pillows. I don't know. I don't know, but baby, it hurt so bad. I canceled my meetings yesterday, and all I could do was lay on the couch. That's all I could do was lay down, and I dozed off a couple of times because of the Flexeril. It makes you, I didn't even know it made you sleepy, but baby, I was grateful for all of it, because you're not supposed to take Flexeril. You're supposed to take it at bedtime, but yesterday it hurt so bad that I took one of the pills early in the day, and I just figured, fuck it, I'm gonna just split the pill and take one at bedtime and one early in the day, and that's what I did. But tonight I'm probably gonna take both Flexeril at bedtime. During the day, I will put the patch back on later, because I think you have to take a few hours. Valerie, you have to take some hours break from the patch, right? I had the patch on all night, so I put the patch on at about 9 o'clock last night, and I took it off this morning at about 9. That's 9 hours. I think in between the patch, you got to leave it off for a series of hours before you could use it again. And as far as the cream is concerned, I have that same cream, Valerie, that you sent me, but mine probably expired. You have the good cream. I mean, your cream is not expired yet. It doesn't expire until September. And I know it has the measuring stick inside of it, but I never use the measuring stick. I just put it on my ass. I don't know, Valerie. Do you use the measuring stick to try to dose the right dosage based on the muscle that you're putting the liquid on? Not me. I just put it on my fingers and rub it in. Oh yeah, the patch has instructions on it. Something about you have to give it a break. I forget what the instructions are. But I'm gonna put the patch on again at some point. I'm not sure. You just put it on too? Okay, because I don't have patience for that stick. It's like measure it and pour it on a stick to about 1 inch and then take that and rub it on. I'm like, I just rub it on. So I don't know if I'm getting enough medicine or too much medicine or what, but I just rub it all in and rub it in the areas that I need and keep it freaking moving. But Hillbilly, you said did you sleep with your neck twisted? Probably. I probably did. That's why I sleep on my side. You know, I sleep all kinds of ways, Hillbilly. I used to sleep on my back, real still like a mummy. But since menopause and I can't really get a good sleep and I'm always hot and sweaty, I turn and twist a lot. So I could have been in a twisted position and fucked up my neck with all them damn pillows on the bed. And so I don't know. It'll be all right. It's getting better. And with these type of things, once you have an inflamed muscle or a pinched nerve is acting up, I don't care what you do for it. Time is your friend. The only thing that's gonna make this go away is for you to constantly medicate it, relax it, ice it, heat it, and have patience, because these type of inflammations take time. I don't care how much medication you're taking, it's going to take time to go away. And so I'm just glad that I have more mobility today than I did yesterday, because baby, I mean, if I moved too fast, I was wincing. If I laughed, I was wincing. I couldn't do anything yesterday. Oh my God. Yes, baby. Them patches are everything. And you have the 5% patches. Baby, I love them shits. So again, I'm going to put one on today. I got to read the instructions because I know it says take some hours in between or some shit like that. Ain't this a damn shame? This is a damn shame. I'm like, all this workout I do, all these yoga stretches and shit that I do, and I still fuck myself up. Like, how is that possible? So this morning I got up. Yesterday I didn't ride my bike because I could fucking barely move this part of my body. Today I'm like, I'm moving a little bit better. I better not ride my bike, because even though you think you're just using your legs, you're not. You're using your arms, you're standing up, you're sitting down, you're standing up, you're sitting down. And so that affects your upper body as well. And so I'm going to take a break from my exercise routine today as well, because I need this to heal. Because baby, if it goes back to where it was, I will definitely and certainly be in the ER asking for a needle in my ass. I'm just saying. Happy hump day, y'all. Questions and opinions day. But I come here to read the positive vibes. And today we're talking about childhood business. Ooh, baby. See, I know some people get offended when I read certain stuff and then elaborate on certain stuff, because a lot of people that's in my circle, people that I talk to, we talk to each other about a lot of personal stuff. And sometimes the topics and the things that you hear, oh, okay, the instructions say apply to 3 to 12 hours. Okay, and then what, Val? Does it say do not apply again for a certain amount of hours, or you could go ahead and I could reapply? What is that? Back to what I was saying. Sometimes the topics in here will touch some of y'all personally, and you'll think that we're talking about you personally. And if it does touch you personally, take it as a message. Don't take it as someone is coming for you, someone is talking about you. That's the thing. A lot of us get offended when we hear things that sound like it's being targeted to us. But if something resonates with you and you feel it, marinate on that shit. And if it does apply to you, figure out how you're going to make adjustments in your life. Don't get offended. Don't run from the show. Don't get offended, right? Because none of us are perfect, right? If you get offended and you feel people are targeting you, then you have to ask yourself, am I ready for change? Am I ready to step into the room of accountability? What is it? Okay. Today we're talking about childhood business. That's what we're talking about today. July 17th. July is the month of understanding. And we're going to get into it because this is a good one. And I'm not going to be on here long because I need to go put some heat on my neck while I'm still feeling good and shit. You know what I mean? All right. So I got to hold my book up a little bit because I can't hold my head down. July 17th. I will gain more understanding. Good morning, Brandzilla. July 17th. I will gain more understanding when I realize until I handle my unfinished child business, I will behave like a child. What does that mean to y'all? I will gain more understanding when I realize until I handle my unfinished childhood business, I will behave like a child. What does that mean to y'all before I get into it? What does handling your childhood business mean? What does it mean to you? Handling your childhood business. Until you handle your childhood business, you will continue to act like a child. What does that mean? I'm gonna wait for an answer because this is a good one. I need to handle my childhood issues. We learn the basics as children. If we don't learn them, the basics, we don't grow. Okay? Maybe until you mature in some areas. Okay. Any Brandilla? What do you think it means? Handling your childhood business. What does that mean? I'm going to tell you what I think it means. So far we have Hillbilly who said we learn the basics as children. If we don't learn them, we don't grow. Valerie said maybe until you mature in some areas. Handling your childhood business. Before I even read the positive thought of the day, I'm going to tell you what I think it means, okay? You know, a lot of us grow up, and I've talked about this so many different occasions. A lot of us grow up under the conditions of toxic behavior. A lot of us grow up, you know, not being taught the basics in life. Good morning, Shirley. We're talking about handling your childhood business, right? A lot of us never grow up mature, like Valerie say. A lot of us don't learn the basics as children, but some of us are not taught, right? And a lot of us grow up knowing that we didn't learn the basics or being told that we didn't learn the basics, and we do not adjust, right? We don't handle our childhood business. It says if you do not handle your childhood business, right, you will continue to behave like a child. What does that mean? What does that mean? You will continue to behave like a child. Unpack, heal, accept your childhood. That's a good one, right? A lot of us are walking around with childhood business, childhood trauma, AKA business, right? Things that we did not even navigate through, things that are affecting us as adults that we don't even connect the dots to the fact that it's a childhood business. And as long as those childhood businesses or your childhood business, ouch, is not addressed, what happens? It shows up in your adult life. So this says handle your childhood business or you will forever act like a child. Good morning, DJ Dub. Handling your childhood business. That's what we're talking about today. How does that affect your growth? If you do not handle, it says, until I handle my unfinished childhood business, I will forever act like a child. Let's see what this says. From Until Today, Ayala Vanzant. When you face danger or frustration, do you regress in your age? When as children we did not get our way, when we were not heard, we pouted, we stomped, and probably slammed the door. When was the last time you turned on your heel or slammed your hands on a table? In an instant, you, an able-bodied, competent adult, can become a 14-year-old, a 9-year-old, or a 5-year-old gripped by the hands of terror. You are regressing back to the time when you first had a similar experience. When you are mentally or emotionally a terrorized child, you must handle yourself with compassion. It says you are regressing back to the time when you first had a similar experience. When you are mentally or emotionally a terrorized child, you must handle yourself with compassion. When children are afraid, they yearn for a mother, father, grandmother, or some other big person to protect them. The same thing happens when adults regress. The same thing happens when adults regress. What happens, taking a pause from the reading, what happens when you get scared, frightened? Do you look for that bigger person to come in and protect you? Right? This says the same thing happens when an adult regresses. If we feel that comfort is not available, we will run for cover. Adults who regress beat up on themselves. They feel ashamed or embarrassed. They make excuses for their behavior. And ultimately, they miss the point. Some of these people we call narcissists, right? They don't see the error in their ways. They don't see that they're throwing a tantrum. They don't see that they're regressing from an adult back to childhood based on their actions. They just make excuses for their behavior. Okay? And they miss the point. They miss the learned lesson, right? What you did not handle or complete as a child, you will handle and complete as an adult. What does that mean to y'all? What you did not handle or complete as a child, you will handle and complete as an adult. Brandilla said it could mean addressing unresolved issues or experiences from your childhood that may affect your current life. Amen. Nicely put. Addressing unresolved issues or experiences from your childhood that may affect your current life. Do you see that? When you start to regress as an adult, do you see that you are regressing? Is this a notable occurrence? Is this something that we recognize, or is it subconscious? We are all little people who grew into big bodies. The challenge we face as adults is to resist the tendency to beat up on ourselves when we act out. Rather, take a moment to soothe and comfort the little you inside of the big you. How many of you need to comfort the little you inside of the big you? Do it for yourself today. What was not done for you yesterday? See, you can't keep blaming the childhood issues on the big people that was in your life then. You have to recognize that you have unresolved childhood issues that need to be addressed, and you have to forgive yourself for it. And you have to do it for yourself. Well, do for yourself today what was not done for you yesterday. Okay? In this way, you will complete your unfinished business. How many of you have experienced regression from an adult to a child in the way you act? I'm going to be honest and say me. I've gotten angry. I've thrown tantrums. I've done things, right? That were triggers based on childhood anger, childhood experiences, and I had to work that shit out. Things that triggered me that smelled familiar from when I was a child, I would react to them harshly. That's when I knew I had to do the work to heal my childhood issues, because they kept showing up in my adult life. You know what I'm saying? And they still do in many ways. But because I recognize them, I'm able to address them as they arise. Brandilla said maybe dealing with emotional traumas, family conflict, or ingrained behaviors and beliefs that originated in childhood. Yes. Until today, You may not have understood the temper tantrums, the panic attacks, or fear that you may sometimes experience. How many of you on here have panic attacks? Baby, I have anxiety attacks. They're similar. They are similar. I have anxiety attacks. And when I get them, I know that it's related to a trigger, something that I'm dealing with, something that I need to heal from, right? Just for today, be devoted to remembering and healing the little one inside of you. Today, I am embracing, protecting, and honoring the child that I still am. What are some ways that you have shown up in your adult life as a child? Have you seen any of your childhood traumas show up in your adult life? Or in the lives of those that are around you, your friends, your significant other, whomever? Hillbilly said, as a man, rage is the most controlling factor in life. I need more, Hillbilly. Elaborate on that. What do you mean rage is the most controlling factor in life? For men, you said as a man. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Rage is the most controlling factor in life. The ability to control the rage? Is that what you mean, Hillbilly? Handling your childhood business. How does this affect your adult life? I've been unpacking a lot of my childhood issues. You know, as I was growing up, I always felt like on the outside of everything. Like, I didn't feel like I was embedded really in anything. Yeah, I have family members, but I never felt like I was a part of the family. If you understand what I'm saying, it's weird. Like, I'm a part of the family, but I'm not. I'm a part of the family because we're related, but I don't feel a part of the family. So, is that weird? And I think it's because of my childhood traumas, right? I grew up not really, I grew up around my family, but I didn't kind of. It's hard to explain. My mother's side of the family, I grew up with them, but I really didn't. I don't even know half the people. Like this weekend, one of my cousins posted pictures of a celebration of another cousin's birthday party. I know them, but I don't, right? And so I never really grew up needing that connection. I never really grew up like I wanted the connection, but I didn't need the connection. Does that make sense to y'all? Like, I didn't fight for the connection because it wasn't natural for me. But I think in my adult life, that's where it shows up. That's why it hurts me so deeply when my friendships dissipate or a relationship dissipates. I found myself fighting for relationships in my adult stages in my life, if that makes sense, because I didn't have that when I was a child growing up, and I didn't know enough to fight for it. And so I grew up kind of feeling kind of lonely in a way. And so when I started getting into adult relationships, right, I started fighting for relationships that I shouldn't have even been fighting for. I started fighting for toxic shit that I shouldn't have even been fighting for. You know what I'm saying? And I had to correct that shit. I was like, what am I fighting for? And I realized that I was fighting to fill in a void of feeling lonely growing up, right? Now, people are going to say, oh my God, Robin, you weren't lonely. You had a lot of people around you. But having a lot of people around you and feeling the presence of those people is very different, right? I can have a lot of people around me and still be very lonely, right? I don't feel like people engaged in my life like I needed them to engage. I didn't feel like I had the family support, growing up, and the circumstances that I dealt with, I didn't feel like, not to say that they didn't support me. I'm talking about how I felt right now. I know people are going to take this personal and they're going to be like, oh my God, there she go. The last time I talked to my family, one of my cousins called me and it turned up being an argument. And I was like, fuck that. And I hung up on her. And I did. Right? That don't mean I don't love her. It just means, you know what? I said what the fuck I said. And this is how I feel. And the one thing that makes my ass itch is that when people call you and try to make you unfeel what you feel, don't call me and try to make me unfeel what the fuck I feel. This is what I feel and I'm expressing it. So when you call me to try to change my mind, that's not going to work. Okay, that's not going to work. I'm going through a healing process, and invalidating my feelings will get you cussed out, will get the phone hung up on you. With love, right? Those are my boundaries. I'm not going to let anybody try to invalidate my feelings because I'm working on my childhood business. Okay. Men rage. Wait, let me go up. Hillbilly said, as a man rage, okay, men rage. Testosterone is a hell of a drug. Controlling it is key to moving forward into adulthood. What does controlling that look like? Teenage boys are so angry, aren't they? I know my son was. Good morning, Ansel. DJ said the word unpack is crucial. What does that mean, DJ? When you think about your life, do you feel that you've unpacked your childhood business? Right? Being there physically and mentally is different. Ansel, I can't do too much jumping because my neck is stiff. But Ansel, come in here with the word. Being there physically and mentally is different. See, that's where you can still feel lonely with a bunch of people in the room. Physically, they're there. Right? But the mental support is not. So you feel lonely. Right? And that showed up in my adult relationships. Okay? And I'm still working on that, but I am so much better at being alone and not feeling alone. And I'm also better at being in a room with people and still not feeling alone because I'm learning to deal with my childhood business, and I'm learning to love myself enough to know that I got me. I don't need to hold on to people, places, and things that are not good for me based on what I didn't have in my childhood. Today's read said, give yourself what you didn't have yesterday. So I'm giving myself me. Because all those years I was giving myself to everybody else. Meaning, I started taking care of my little brother at 11 years old. Right? Y'all know what it is to be a latchkey kid with a single parent household where your mom has to work and shit like that. And then I moved right into pregnancy at 15, had my baby at 16, and continued to be a caretaker. Then I moved into grandmotherhood. I never gave myself me. And so in these past 3 years, I've been giving myself me. Right? And so my world looks different. I'm no longer like this like this everyday grandmother in the everyday activities. And you know what? I thought I was going to miss it. I love my grandbabies. I do. But for the first time in my life, I'm giving myself me. And for the first time in my life, I don't feel guilty. I used to feel guilty about it. I don't feel guilty about it either. That's when I know I'm healing, because baby, when I wasn't, listen, if I couldn't do something for my grandkids or people asked me to do stuff, I would feel guilty when I couldn't. I don't feel guilty. Cheryl Lee said those early experiences also lead us to developing attachment styles or ways of bonding with people. And that's what I was just talking about. The way I was bonding with people, the way I felt like I needed people in my life. I had to unlearn that shit. I had to fix that childhood business. Ansel said it's difficult in your 40s and older to change what you process your mind in 40 years. You're right, Ansel. That's why the work, nobody said the work was easy, right? But you got another 40 plus years to unpack that shit. See, that's the thing. People think you should unpack shit and it'll be unpacked in a year or it'll be unpacked in 6 months. It has no time. Healing is a constant thing that constantly happens. If it took 40 years to embed those behaviors in you, guess what? It's going to take time to unlearn them shits and learn healthier of ways of being. Don't rush it. It's a process. But as long as you are navigating through your life in healthier ways, the experience in life should be different. And you know what? You won't even be thinking about how many more years do I have to go to heal. Forget the time it's going to take. Just navigate and work through the childhood business. Eventually, your life will start to evolve as you continue to work on healing. That's forever. Because every day is going to bring in some kind of experience, or every month or every year, that's going to cause us to go into a healing mode for something. A loss of a family member, a loss of a job, a breakup, something. Right? We have to keep working on ourselves. We do. How do you see your childhood business showing up in your adult life? I gave you mine. How do you see yours showing up in your adult life? Sorry, y'all. Cheryl said EMDR helped me to deal with childhood trauma. How? How, Cheryl? How did you see the childhood trauma showing up in your adult life? What was the red flag for you that said, I need help? I'm just curious. Because a lot of people are walking around with childhood business, but they don't realize it. What they do is they say, this is how I am. You like it or don't. I don't care. And I'm like, okay. How do you see your childhood issues showing up in your adult life? Do we even think about these things? Do you just push your childhood traumas to the back burner? I'm asking. Good morning, Debbie. So I still have a stiff neck, so I can't be doing too much. But we're talking about handling your childhood business and how does your childhood trauma or your childhood business show up in your adult life? In your life, in people you know life, what does childhood business in an adult body look like to you? When you see someone or you have friends or whatever, do you recognize childhood trauma in yourself and or in them? And how do you address it once you realize that you are still suffering from childhood trauma? What do you do to address it? I never identified it as childhood trauma. It was pointed out to be as I was going through therapy. Okay. Ooh, hillbilly, I've dealt with most. The rest I don't care about. Okay. Okay. I love it. The fact that you said you've dealt with most, the rest you don't care about. You just, and I get that. Because there's just some shit that ain't worth my time. But there are some things that if I feel like it's going to impact my life, then I have to make a change. Debbie, you said, dang, you over here thinking, handling your childhood business. What shows up in your adult life? And even if it's not you, just give an example of what looks like a childhood trauma that might show up in someone's adult life. Like for me, grown people throwing a temper tantrum. Shut the hell up and sit the fuck down. Like, why are you throwing a whole temper tantrum? Another one for me is tit for tat. Niggas, if you turn around and do a tit for tat for me, I'm going to call you a 2-year-old. Okay? I hate a motherfucker that do tit for tat. Okay? I hate a motherfucker that do tit for tat. I feel like that's a childhood business. That's a childhood trauma. If I'm arguing with you and the person goes, well, you did that 2 years ago, nigga. What kind of, right? Another childhood business to me is, and y'all know I said it before, when my ex used to walk around here and not talk to me for days and weeks at a time, that's some childhood bullshit. When somebody do that to you, that is not adult behavior. Adults communicate. Okay? So when you're with somebody and they are ignoring you and they're walking past you, not speaking to you, acting like you don't exist, acting like you fucking Casper the Friendly Fucking Ghost. That is childhood business. Because where the fuck did you learn that from? Because, baby, adults communicate. The fuck? This why my neck be hurting. If you want to trigger me with tit for tat or ignoring my ass. All right? That's childhood behavior. To me. In my opinion. Opinions are like assholes. But that's my opinion. Tit for tat is a trigger for me. If you do it, see, that's when you trigger my childhood business. And I have to catch myself because I'll be like, y'all know where that music come from, right? Shower scene psycho. Good morning, Ghost. Those two things for me are examples of childhood business. Another sample of a childhood business to me is, I'm going to give you an example. Now, I told this story before. I know people want to throw darts at me. My ex-husband, when we went to Mexico, and I told y'all he came to Mexico, and when I went to the bank, there was no money in the bank. Childhood business. He took the money and went shopping for the Mexico trip. Okay? Now, remember, I told y'all he flew in a day after us because of his work schedule. So we were already in Mexico for a day. So when we went to the airport to pick him up, I went to the cash machine to go get money, and there was no money in there. And I said, motherfucker, what happened to the money that was in the bank account? He was like, well, I thought you had money. You took money out for the trip, so I went shopping. That's fucking childhood business. Who the fuck drains a bank account to go shopping for new clothes for a trip and then have you and your wife out in Mexico with no fucking money? But you looking sharp. Childhood business. Because what the fuck is that? Right? Those are examples of things that I think is childhood business. Another thing that's childhood business. If you and I in the same house and we're paying bills and the first of the month come, don't act like you didn't know it was the first of the month. If I got to keep coming to you asking you for money, I'm going to call you a child. I'm going to call you a child. Okay, because why is it you don't never know what the fucking first is and when you're supposed to pay your bills? Because you know deep down inside, if you don't give me the money, I'm going to cover the shit. Right? Like your mama did. But I'm not your mama. Childhood business. I got married at 26. So I was under 30 when that happened. But how did I know that was going to happen? How did I know that was going to happen? I'm in Mexico. Right, hillbilly, lick the button, lick the like button. How did I know that was going to happen? Right? I had no clue. That was the first time that motherfucker did some shit like that. And then it was downhill after that. Sometime after that, my lights got cut off in my apartment. And sometime after that, and then sometime after that, the nigga got put out. Childhood business. Right? What are some other examples of childhood business? What does it look like to you? So what did I do in Mexico? Well, it was a bunch of us. My sister-in-law was there with her husband, a bunch of her friends. We traveled with our church friends from Seventh-day Adventist Church. And so one gentleman, Wayne, he was like, listen, I will take care of you for the rest of the trip. Wayne actually made sure I ate, made sure I drank. He didn't make sure. He was like, I don't know what he gonna do, but I got you. Wayne paid for my excursions. You know, if I wanted to go on an excursion or whatever, this guy Wayne, which was a friend of ours, made sure that I was able to eat and drink and celebrate and have a good time in Mexico. Okay? And that man never asked me for no money back. I don't know if he went to my husband at the time, was like, nigga, you got to pay me back or whatever, but that was not my concern. But Wayne took care of me. We literally fought on the beach. What? I don't be fucking playing. We were on the beach arguing because I tried to take it away from the rest of the friends and the family. And I remember his sister-in-law came out on her balcony of the hotel. We were down in the front of the hotel. And my sister-in-law came out on the balcony and screamed for us to shut up because I was down there. I think I slapped him like 3 or 4 good times. Like, how the fuck? What the fuck? We in Mexico. Now, if we were in Dubai, we would have been in jail because I was certainly outside yelling and cussing and swinging. I'm in a foreign country, motherfucker, with no money. It was nasty. It was nasty. Childhood behavior, because who the fuck puts their significant other in a situation like that? And what man will watch another man pay for your wife to eat, pay for your wife to go on excursions, make sure your wife has a good time. What man is going to sit around and watch another man do that? Childhood business. He needed to go back and unpack some things. He needed to grow the fuck up. Because as an adult, there ain't no fuck way he should have did that. Right? I got a lot of other things that I could say about childhood business. But baby, I'm going to leave it there. Y'all get the point, right? Y'all get the point. Recognize in yourself when you have childhood business you need to address, all right? Because it does spill over into your adulthood. Okay? And then recognize in other people that you are dealing with whether they have childhood business that they need to deal with, and recommend therapy, right? Some people can't unpack childhood business by themselves. Yes, kudos to Wayne, because Wayne had me. I'm just saying. Childhood business. Childhood business. Grown folks, I said I was going to leave it alone, right? Grown folks having children. That's the scary one. Grown folks having children, but they yet have not addressed their own childhood business. I was that mom. I was 16 when I had my son. I was still going through my childhood business. I was deep in it. And it showed up in the way that I raised my son. It did. That I had to readjust aggressively when he got in his 20s, because if I kept the same pattern at 16 all the way through, I don't know where my son would be. I had to recognize that I needed to adjust my life, correct my childhood issues, my childhood traumas, and deal differently. And it was a transition that hurt, because I went from being my son's friend to being his mother. Okay? Because at 16, I was his friend. Even though he called me mom, I raised him like my friend. Right? And when I realized I needed to step into the adult shoe, the mother shoe, it was a challenge. But I fought that. And it was ugly. But I knew if I didn't address those issues, that my childhood issues and my childhood business will overflow onto him, and he would forever act like a child. I had to change that narrative. Handling your childhood business, because when you have kids, it shows up. Right? It shows up. Anybody can be a mother and a father. But God damn it, being a parent is totally different. And I was his mother for many, many years, trying to be a parent. But how could I parent and I didn't understand what that meant? I had to learn. So that's the message for today, y'all. Handling your childhood business. All right. And it's a good damn message because a bunch of us are walking around not recognizing that we have these childhood traumas that are impacting our adult lives. And it takes a brave person to step into the room to say, I got some damn issues that I need to fucking deal with because it's impacting how I'm navigating as an adult. Hillbilly said, my greatest gift to my child is education. My folks never asked for a report card after 5th grade. It's a difference between being a mother and a father versus being a parent. See, parents, they are engaged. They are active. They support your dreams. They push your goals. They parent you. They support you. They push you to be an adult and to be responsible and to be accountable. Anybody can be a mother and a father. And so kudos to you, Hillbilly. Deb said, but when you have to be mature enough to understand the difference, and so many people with kids still don't. They don't. They just think, oh, I'm a parent. No, motherfucker, you a mother or a father. A parent takes care of their children, supports their children mentally and physically, are there for their children at all costs, sacrifice for their children, which means that, baby, I remember knocking on motherfuckers' doors to feed my kid, and I didn't eat. When I moved to Mount Vernon at the age of 19, I might have wore a size 12 kids' clothes. That's how skinny I was, right? I sacrificed everything in my life. Entertainment, comfortability, everything to make sure that my son ate, that my son was able to go to school, that my son had clothes on his back. And the one thing that I promised, no matter how hard my conditions would be, my son would never leave my side. He is going to be here with me through it all. And he was. Nobody ever raised my kid for me. Not one person. Now, I had help, but I woke up with my baby and I went to sleep with my baby. Every fucking day and every night. No matter how hard life got. And I sacrificed, but I still was learning how to be a parent. Right? Good morning, mother. Deal with your childhood business. Because it does show up in your adult life. How you treat other people can be based on how you were treated growing up. Does do these people in your life deserve to be treated that way? Just because you're holding on to childhood business that you didn't unpack? I'm just saying. This is the message for today. How you deal with your childhood business is up to you. And that's it. And that's motherfucking all. Happy fucking hump day. And with that, y'all, I'm going to end the show unless anybody has any other input or anything that anybody want to share. Cheryl Lee said, until you heal from childhood trauma, you will have problems managing your emotions, responses. You'll have trust issues and always be looking for a coping mechanism. How about that? How about that? How about that? Thank you, Shirley. And with that, y'all, come back tomorrow because I will be here on Thursday. My neck and my arm is still sore as fuck. Like, I rubbed the medicine on it. So, I got medicine on it, but I need to go sit with the heating pad for a while and then switch with the ice. I've been doing what Cheryl said. Put the ice on there, switch back and forth. So I've been doing that. And I've been swallowing pills, y'all, swallowing pills. So at some point this morning, I'm probably going to take another Motrin to keep the pain at a minimum, right? And then I'll probably put another patch on at some point, right? And then tonight I'll take my 2 Flexerils and go to fuck to sleep, right? Hopefully by the end of this week, this will be gone. That's what I'm hoping, okay? Exactly, DJ Dub. Childhood business, handle that shit. That's the message. And with that, y'all, I'm going to send y'all out with some good vibes because even when you feel low, what? You can still do what?
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
And I don't. This is Coffee with Friends, and I am Roy Debo. Peace and blessings, y'all. See you tomorrow. I'm out.
Hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way. On the highway, and in the driveway, it's a nice range. Cause I grind through the crowd, I invite pain. What? Bitch, now I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain
anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key.
Ingredients, the key.
Hey,
Better see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. And
I do, y'all.